There are over 4,000 chemicals in a cigarette, which include cyanide, formaldehyde, paint thinners. It's straight up poison. And as passionate as I am about marijuana, which if for some reason people don't know that, I probably know more about marijuana than anybody that you're going to talk to, including most experts, because I've done extensive study on it now for at least 15 years. And, you know, even people coming on board now doing public debates and stuff, a lot of them don't know as much as I know about it. I've just read that many books about it. I've been doing that much research, and I continue to. You may have seen me on Geraldo a couple times recently arguing the point, once for the Michael Phelps situation, and again recently on April 19th to discuss legalizing to stimulate our messed up economy. And I will continue to do that. I'm also a contributing writer to several of the magazines. If you haven't seen articles about me, maybe they're written by me in High Times Magazine, Skunk, a bunch of those. Right now, if you go to cannabisculture.com, there's a story that it was just posted the other day that I wrote about Michael Phelps, and also about the advantages of a pro athlete using cannabis, which is another word for marijuana if you don't know. And coming from a world champion's perspective, the situation with Michael Phelps getting busted bothers me because people want to look at him and make them more like them. This is the world's greatest athlete, the most accomplished athlete. He's got 14 gold medals, I think another 4 bronze. I could be mistaken right now because it's not in front of me. And it's something like that, though. He's the most accomplished athlete by far. And, you know, myself being a world champion that lost 2 world titles when I got busted for simple possession in Ohio in that very high-profile bust, you know, it seems like the public that doesn't know much about marijuana at all, they're still holding on to what the government tells them, which we can prove and do prove all the time is just lies. It seems like they would want to learn more about it. Like, if it's so bad, if I watch a commercial on TV that tells me smoking pot is going to turn me into a couch potato and I'm not going to be able to get up off the couch, how can the world's greatest athlete be a consumer? They missed the boat there by not looking into that. And in the story that I wrote that's at cannabisculture.com kind of helps explain that. World champions make the educated decision to use cannabis to help them achieve their goals. As an athlete, the advantages are huge. I mean, you know, from blocking out mental and physical stresses, obstacles that could be in your way, bringing your energy up and keeping it, being positive, which is necessary to be at one's best. It helps block out the anxieties of performing in front of a crowd, you know, no matter what kind of performer. And again, I shouldn't say again, this is probably the first time I'm saying it here, I'm not saying that everybody should roll one up and smoke it, but just because you back the intelligent decision to end prohibition doesn't make you a user. People are afraid of that. They think, well, I don't smoke, so it doesn't affect me. Yes, it does. In California alone, where marijuana is our largest cash crop, we're about to declare federal bankruptcy. I mean, the whole country is, but California is way ahead of the game. We are predicted to declare bankruptcy. I don't want to be owned by China, and there's a $2 billion surplus I see in removing the doctor's referral requirement, which currently brings in $100 million to the state, and allowing it for people 21 years and over to choose, to tax and regulate. And according to Assembly Bill 390, they estimate it would bring in about $1 billion a year. Not to mention, we would cease to waste $1 billion a year that we do now by arresting patients and users and clogging up the court systems and putting out bullshit propaganda. It's all basically bad business based on lies. The government still, although in February we got our new Eric Holder, our new Attorney General, to finally, for the first time in 70 years, to finally say, hey, you know what? Federal government is now going to comply with state law. That means that in California, as well as 12 other states currently, if you are complying with state law and using marijuana, the federal government will leave you alone. Prior to that, there was always the fear of federal recourse if you were smoking legally in California with a doctor's recommendation, but no longer. So that's a huge move in the right direction. Now what we need to do, and what we're looking at, is considering making it available not just with a doctor's referral or recommendation, but with the proper age, and the proper legal, responsible way to do it, to obtain it, and to possess it, and even to cultivate it. There's one interesting point that I want to bring up, Sandman. You know that I'm long-winded, and we're talking about something I know an awfully lot about.
Go for it.
I'm currently reading a book called, and you can't find this yet because this isn't out yet. The reason I have it is because I'm going to be writing a foreword in it. It's written by Paul Amentano, the deputy director of NORML. It's called "Marijuana is Safer, So Why Are We Driving People to Drink?" And so far, I'm just a few pages in, but I'm really, really impressed with it. There's one argument that he brings up that I really need to bring out on this show. When trying to convince people the reasons that marijuana prohibition is ridiculous, it's often compared to other things. I do it, you do it, everyone. We say, well, there's alcohol is worse for you, cigarettes are worse. But what people generally tend to do then, people that are, listening to this argument, trying to give their opinion, is they think in their mind, okay, why should we legalize another vice? We got so many vices out there. We got so many drugs and stuff out there. Why should we make one more thing legal? Just one more way for people to get high. And that often throws people off from even listening because it's compared to dangerous substances when it's not. Marijuana, in fact, is incapable of causing death from intoxication. You cannot die from smoking pot. And if you did, you would be the first person recorded in the history of the planet. Those are pretty good odds. So we compare it, to alcohol or cigarettes to try to make the point. Look, cigarettes kill 1 out of 2 smokers prematurely, and people like those odds. They're comfortable with those odds. They want to hold on to their right, suck down that poison, because that's their right. Oh, okay, fine. Alcohol, which not only kills hundreds of thousands straight up from drinking, it's also the leading cause in so many things: car accidents, murders, emergency room visits, so many social disorders, all related to alcohol. And alcohol is the most accepted drug ever. And it's a government plan. They want you to drink. They want you to smoke. They capitalize on the profits huge, big time. Marijuana has been misclassified